Hello, friends, and welcome to a slow-mo bodyfulness mindfulness practice. Let's jump right in. What I mean by slow-mo mindfulness bodyfulness is that we're really going to practice very subtle movements in our body and notice. I will be offering invitations, and as always, please do your own thing, especially when it comes to movement. I'm not aware of any limitations you might currently have. I'm currently working with limited mobility in my lower body, so this is going to be exclusively an upper body practice. But for you, you may want to do slow, mindful walking when I'm guiding something else. So please make this your own. Let's begin with a brief checking in with an anchor to ground in our body. Right here and right now, inviting your mind to rest lightly with curiosity, compassion, maybe even a little playfulness today, if that's available to you. So noticing your seat, your feet, sensing into your posture and your breath. Letting go of anything that you notice you don't need right now. Could be a thought, could be something being held in your body, could be a belief. But allowing your mind and your wisdom to tune in. Most of us find it easier to attune to our more gross or large movements, walking, jumping, sporting in whatever way. We can feel into those big movements, swinging, kicking, etc., etc. But today, I invite us to really tune into the much more subtle movements that can sometimes reveal interesting information to us. So we might begin by just gently turning your head to one side very slowly at your own pace, but really going so that it's barely visible, the actual movement, but you're sensing it. Tuning into any part of your body that is involved in this gentle head turn, be it the neck, the shoulder, the skull, the chin, the eyes, if they're open, if they're guiding you. Just sensing into that. Going only as far as is comfortable, and when you meet your edge, we're not owls after all, when you meet your edge of where your head can turn and you meet the resistance, pause and breathe. And if it's not uncomfortable, perhaps just allowing your head to stay in this position and invite this gentle, subtle stretching. And in your own time, your own pace, perhaps slowly, ever so slowly, with attention, kindness, turning your head back. Excuse me. And when it arrives at front and center again, just notice the difference between the side that has been stretched, turned, moved, and the side that was more contracted in that turning. Because that side, of course, was also turning. But notice the difference in sensations, if there is any. And then if it feels right to you to even this out, doing the same thing on the other side, slowly, gently, with attention, presence, and kindness, offering the opportunity for your head to turn the opposite direction. Remembering, of course, to breathe. Or notice if you were holding your breath there, as I just noticed I was. And again, when you get to the point where your head, your neck, your muscles, your tendons say, okay, just honor that. Notice. Notice if there's impatience, boredom, irritation. All of that is normal. At your own pace, returning your head again to a more neutral stance, checking back in with your breath and your posture, and sensing into any changes since you made this slow-mo movement with your head. Applying this idea to our arms and hands. So perhaps can't see my whole arm here. Very slowly, starting to lift one arm, perhaps letting your hand drape down. Noticing the heaviness, noticing the force of gravity, perhaps noticing your desire to move more quickly. Noticing any opinions and judgments as they arise in this very unnatural, super slow-mo movement. Staying with the breath and the body. When your arm reaches its highest point, just feeling into this. If we, of course, we're not looking in a mirror. We're just feeling in, okay, that's the highest point. You might want to circle your hand around your wrist slowly. Perhaps noticing the changing blood flow as your fingers and the majority of your arm are above your head. Notice any discomfort, just really noticing the subtle movements. If it feels right for you, you can continue as if you're doing a backstroke with swimming. If it's better for you, if you're struggling with any shoulder injuries, frozen shoulder, or anything, you might want to just modify and, of course, just lower the arm back to the front. But slowly, really feeling into this amazing joint in our body, the shoulder, sensing into all of these muscles and tendons and ligaments. Perhaps you know their names, perhaps you don't, perhaps you know some of them. And just sensing again into the change in the blood flow, if you can feel that from the very slow movement that we've just done. Returning to neutral, feeling into the difference in your right arm and your left arm. When you feel ready, connected to your body, checking back in with your breath, releasing any areas of tension that may have crept in. And we'll offer the same on the other, with the other hand, other arm. So whatever you do with one appendage, whatever you're doing in one direction, it's optimal if we can offer it to both sides. Noticing if there might be similarities or differences. Excuse me, again, noticing judging mind. Returning as you're able again and again to the present moment in your body. Slow-mo mindfulness or bodyfulness today. There's really not an athletic goal or point or destination for this activity at all. It's really just loving on, noticing this amazing body of ours and its capacity to move, and what it's like to slow it down. You're in charge here, so making any adjustments that will enhance your practice, your awakening to your body in this moment. If you didn't have a chance to really feel into your hands when they were above your head, these hands are quite amazing. All the things that they do. So you might start the next section here with looking at your hands with beginner's mind, as if you've never seen your hands before. So, these amazing fingers of ours that bend, that have wrinkles. Some of us have more wrinkles than others. Our palms, our fingertips, which are unique to us. No one else has the same hands, palms, fingers. Turning your hands over to observe them, and then in your own time, again, inviting in. Now I'm just going to allow you to move your hands, really invite you to move your hands as feels right for you. Perhaps you need to stretch your hands. Perhaps you need to massage your hands. But the intention really here is to cultivate this intimacy with your hands here, this familiarity, curiosity, connection, and then gentle movement. Same thing with the wrists. And friends, if this kind of practice appeals to you, I'm going to be wrapping up our formal introduction to this slow-mo movement here. But give yourself this gift whenever you can. These bodies are the only bodies we get to live our lives in. And we ask a lot of them every day. And of course, living with diabetes, our bodies ask a lot of us as well, which we tend to. But this kind of practice can be really powerful to awaken to the miracles of our muscles, our joints, our ligaments, our capacity to move. So I hope you enjoyed this practice. Keep going if you do. There's lots more movement available to us through the torso, through the spine, through the legs and the hips, the feet, the toes. Love to hear your comments about these kinds of new-ish practices, if this is new for you. Let us know how it feels. Have a beautiful day.